Blessings upon blessings, blessings upon blessings. Come on in here tonight. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to last. Um, Tonight, but I'm here for it. Come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. Blessings, blessings, destiny. Come on in and do share. We are live right now on the Love Walk Outreach Global pages on YouTube and Facebook, but we are also live on our YouTube Inspirational Treasure page. As tonight we are praying the prayer of inclusion. I'm going to share a little bit with you about where I am today. I know God uses everything, so I'm going to share with you because I started to change the focus of the prayer, and God said, "No, I want you to share this." So I'm going to share my my heart with you as much as I'm able to. Um, Tomorrow, of course, I'll share probably a whole lot more um, when we are live. Excuse me, y'all. I'll give you a little bit of ambiance if you can hear it at all. But so tomorrow, which is the 25th of January, thank you for sharing and inviting Destiny. I appreciate that very much. Um, So tomorrow is the 25th of January, where we will be live at 10:25 a.m. until 1:25 p.m. Yes, the numbers are strategic, as tomorrow is January 25th as well. It is significant. I will share of the significance of that particular number, what God spoke to me concerning it. One of those things are of honor. It will be my Reverend Daddy. He passed away back in 2019. He transitioned from this physical reality to be present back into the spirit realm. Um, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, meaning that we merge ourselves back with the essence that is on the inside of us. See, listen, the essence of God is on the inside, or is everything that exists, right? But we exist as unique souls with different personalities and things like that. So we are walking through this experience from a unique perspective. God is just brilliant like that. So when we leave these physical bodies, these physical this soul, this physical existence, then we transition over to the spirit, where everything really does exist as one and there's no contention. We are one right now, but we have the blockages of our differences to keep us from really realizing it. So we do our spiritual journey so that we can remember once again that we are one. But when we transition, we are literally in that presence with no reservations, no anything. There's just so much to God, and I'm enjoying the exploration. And but there's also those moments that can make you feel like, nah, I'm going to exclude that. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. And I just wrote a piece called Unlocking Wisdom, of course, the title track for the project I'm releasing tomorrow. Oops. I'm giving stuff away. Nevertheless, I'm going to share this piece because God instructed me to share transparently some things tonight. But I wrote a title piece called Unlocking Wisdom, and it's really almost like a letter or a conversational letter between myself and wisdom. And wisdom is reminding me that I show up in different shapes and forms. I'm a shapeshifter. I show up in different experiences. I show up as different people. I show up as different places and ideas, imaginations. I show up everywhere. But if you are not tapped in pretty much to embrace the lessons that I'm supposed to be bringing, then you're going to miss it because you're going to make a home where you should just be passing through. And so to say I am in the process of cutting my locks. As a matter of fact, I've already made a little short video for the peoples. And the first three are already cut. And I'm emotional, of course, and having a moment and having some grief and having some, some doubt, like, dang, should I really be doing this? But what wisdom says is, if you continue to hold on to one experience, one lesson, one adventure along this journey, you hold on to it, hold it hostage, hold it even when it's old and worn and tired, and it wants the rest, but you keep holding on because you feel like there's some certain loyalty that you should have to it because it's been with you for a time. Then you don't realize yet that there are things that are beneficial for a season, and then in the next season they may not be. And so I'm going through this experience. I'm going through, all of it is symbolic with everything else that I'm going through in this particular elevation and shift. But nevertheless, these are the moments where we don't really want to include these in the experience, you know. But my hair is heavy now, and my head is experiencing the pain from it. My neck is experiencing the pain from it. They're beautiful. I gave my husband his moment with them. He had to have a moment. Amani and Christian, they've never seen me without them. So all they know is mommy with her locks. And so I'm becoming a whole new creature, right in front of the faces of people. So many significant things go along with these changes. And I want y'all to just really hear me out, because this is the adventure that we're on. If you're rocking with Love Walk Outreach Global and Inspirational Treasure, baby, then you in for an adventure, because I'm going to let God lead me to what I need to do, what I need to learn, what I need to share. And all of that means that things that have been beneficial at some point may no longer be beneficial. Old paradigms, old thoughts. Sometimes we remain loyal to something because it's done us good throughout time, but there's a way for you to be able to grow up or grow with that thing and then have that moment where you part with no hard feelings, just memories and love. But we're so busy trying to protect ourselves and be safe and not trust people because we're tired of going through the feeling of loss and grief, to the point where we hold on to the old things no matter how much they are weighing us down. And so God is showing me all this. I told y'all this wisdom is run deep because he's saying there's a lesson in everything. And so locks of treasured lessons is what I've gained. Locks of treasured lessons is what I've gained. And if I look at this as simply a goodbye to something that has been serving me for 15 years, if I only look at it as a goodbye, then I'll be melancholy and sad and depressed the whole time, and I won't be able to enjoy the next place. But wisdom shapes it shapes around what you need. In other words, God is all things to all men so that he can win one back to love unconditional. He knows every part of us. So he reaches everything. He understands everything. He sees everything. And every experience that we have, no matter whether it's with our hair or our bodies, even losing weight sometimes for people is tough because they're so used to the weight that they've been carrying. We adjust. And then sometimes we get accommodations because we can't let go. We get wheelchairs. If we gain a certain amount of weight, we get a wheelchair to accommodate, so that we can be pushed around. But we don't let go of the weight, so therefore it cripples us and it can even kill us, right? And so with this experience, with the type of pains I've been having in my head, the sharp pains, not being able to, I've never really been able to wear updo styles or too many different difficult styles because my scalp is very sensitive, and it would hurt. But I've had a few things happen. Never really allowed other people to kind of be in my head. So I didn't have a loctician or anything. Maybe 10 or less times I've had somebody else to do my hair just simply because they kind of wanted to play in it, I guess. I've been to the salon only twice, the whole time that I've had my hair to have it done. So it's been my experience. It's been my journey. It's been my discipline. And it's been my inconsistency. It's been my depression. It's been all of these things my hair has experienced with me over the last 15 years. So we're comfortable with each other. But in that piece that I just wrote, God just really helped me to understand. See, I never named my hair, but as I was writing, I just kept calling her wisdom. And then I got like, no, I'm not gonna call her wisdom because what if, something else comes and I want to give that the name wisdom and all of that. And so God just pretty much said to me, it's all wisdom. So you can name as many things wisdom as you want to. And maybe that'll help you with these experiences in life. Maybe it'll help you to navigate through them because you understand that wisdom just shape shifts. It takes on a new persona. It takes on a new experience. But you have to grow throughout this life. And if something needs to die in order for something else to grow, then we have to understand that process. And I know that's hard to hear because it's the same even when it comes to the things that we lose, loved ones and friends and family. I have a fear of death, like leaving this earthly realm right now because there's so many things I want to do. But I do realize that the people that are in my life, if I do have to transition, they're not going to waste away because I've transitioned. So what am I leaving here for them to value and to hold on as their locks of lessons? Because my experience is serving others and being a part of their lives and helping them navigate through different seasons of their lives has been a pleasure and an honor. But if at some point we keep holding on, it could have turned into something different or something worse. I was doing an interview last night. Blessings, Mary. I was doing an interview last night. And one of the ladies who was interviewing me, her name is Jasmine. And Jasmine, we go, back some years. Taisha introduced us. We got introduced at Taisha's first little event at the library in her town. And it was such a great experience. And I met some great people. And so I met Jasmine and her then husband. And she was pregnant with her daughter. And we coached through one of the most intense seasons of her life. But when she saw me, and it's, made me emotional, but when she saw my face pop up on the screen, she had this look of admiration on her face, this look of, gratitude from the time that we shared. Now, I could only offer her what I offered her at the time, but whatever it was, it had to be something valuable for her to remember. And so I just want to share that with you as we talk about we do the prayer of inclusion tonight. Sometimes you have to let some things go in order for the other things to come in. But you have to enjoy those things when you have them. So much so that when the time comes or the subject is brought up again, or you see that person again, or y'all are having some type of experience together, it's a pleasant experience. They're happy to see you. You're happy to see them. When I see pictures of me with my locks in the days to come, I want to be able to smile. Yes, I can remember the dark times. I can remember all the things my locks went through with me because our hair holds energy and it holds things. Now, just imagine me having my locks. See, I don't get to comb my hair out. So the dead hair that a person might comb out when they're just doing their regular hair every day, it goes through the natural process of death and rebirth, death and rebirth. But when your hair is locked up, you literally are holding on to everything that is dead. So eventually the weight becomes extremely heavy. Now, some people have thinner hair, so they're able to deal with it. And some people are even graced to be able to live without the pain or any weight from their locks. And so it serves them as a life partner, a life assignment. Some things will be life assignments. That's why I can't get disturbed about whether things are temporary or permanent. Like I do get a little anxiety because I love people. I miss things a lot. And so, I get a little anxiety when I don't know if we're permanent or temporary. But nevertheless, I have to include everything, the good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And so this weight, the weight that's in this hair, the years, and I'm a healer by profession. That's the job that I've committed to, the one I've agreed to with God, and that this is what I'll participate in. And so imagine taking on the pain, the hurt, the sorrows of others. I'm a hugger. So I embody what people embody. I'm an empath. I feel the pains and the woes. And so just imagine that this hair has been with me the whole time. 15 years. My whole coaching career. Being certified as a coach anyway, because I've been coaching people my whole life, I think. But with the title of a coach, I've been doing that for 15 years, and my hair has been with me throughout the entire experience. And so I do believe that I understand exactly what's happening right now in this season of my life as I'm shape-shifting a little bit myself to just sit in the seat of a spiritual advisor constantly and consistently, doing that more than I'm doing other things. Coaching will still be there, right? Just like the experience of my hair and the time we've shared, it will still be there. I'll still have the memories and the pictures. Coaching, I'll still be doing, because as I do spiritual, advising for many, especially women, they may need to be within the coaching community. They may need to have the ammunition or the tools and the tips to make it through their circumstances. And so what I've gained in these 15 years, I'll continue to share. But me traveling to teach this message of love and of inclusion, of oneness, of Christ consciousness, taking Jesus out of this place that he never asked to be in the first place, and putting him in a place where we can look, we can learn of him, we can follow the example without bondage. And so this is a message that is pretty intense. It's going to be, it's going to be something, but it's going to be joyful. And I refuse for it to be anything else. There's experiences that I've shared has to be included with everything else. So we're praying the prayer of inclusion, which means that we are embracing the fullness of every experience. When I first wrote inclusion, I was like, okay, God, are we going to pray about, us accepting people as they are, including them in the beloved of God? No, nobody is exempt. Everybody gets to choose whether they're going to identify with love, whether they're going to awaken to the fullness of love within them. But they're not exempt, because God is everything. God exists as all things and different elements and people and things. God is every idea. No matter how crazy you think it is, no matter how awesome you think it is, God is everything. Everything. And he shape shifts just for us. He becomes all things to all men. Jesus followed that example. Different love walk agents that came forth, they followed that example. They led communities and people into a higher consciousness and understanding that they are free to choose to live, to be, and that God gets the glory when they live in the truth of who they are. There's been many. But the experience of awakening, the experience of really understanding the death, burial, and resurrection of life, listen, that calls for us to include everyone so that we can help to bear the burdens of each other throughout this life. In this inclusion is everything. All the people, all the ideas, all the elements, all the different philosophies. There's truth in all of it. And the exploration of it is what we need to be able to do. But we can't do that if our heart is not open to include all that God is. We only want bits and pieces and portions of God. We don't want the whole thing. We don't want to understand it at its fullest. And I'm studying deep. There's some deep things that I'm studying, things that, makes you look back and be like, man, we was really doing elementary stuff. growing up. That was the elementary stuff. Now the meat is here, and it's uncomfortable for many people to receive it. But if we keep trying to drink the milk, you're going to starve, right? You're not going to get enough nutrients from that. And so that which is not beneficial anymore may have to die. It may have to shift into a different experience, but it's not for your bad, it's for your good. You bear the weight. When I take up my cross and follow the example to pursue the mind of Christ. When I take up my cross, what I'm taking up is everything that has me weighed down, everything that has my heart unhealed, everything that has my thoughts in a bunch about people, and I'm living in a place of untrust and unrest, and I'm never in a happy place. Everything is awful, or I'm still blaming people for my life happenstances and the way my life is now, even though I'm the one in charge of it all. And there's so much to that cross, the shame, the guilt, everything that comes along with it, even the great things that you've done, the good things that you've done, that seem to not be bearing fruit. You're bearing that cross. You pick it up and you determine within yourself that you are going to pursue the mind that makes this cross not as heavy as you thought it would be. Pick it up. It feels heavy. This hair of mine feels extremely heavy. For the past few months, I've been wearing it up mostly, only taking it down a couple of times because I've decided, hey, I'm going to honor this. You want to rest? It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to shift out. Then let me honor you to the best of my ability. Let me put you up. Let me give you rest until it's your time to be buried. Some of you have to include your hardships in this. Take up your cross and think about all of the hardships, the things that you've endured, the things that you've gone through, the things that, man, split you in two, made you feel like you would never be repaired. Pick it up. I know it's heavy, but you're about to rest in a minute. My soul. So you pick up this cross, you follow, you pursue the mind of Christ, the same mind that was in Jesus. We pursue that mind. That's what our focus is supposed to be on. That's what he encouraged us to be able to do. And yes, there were those who decided to create an organizational, system or another religion, and they altered and changed some things to look as if it was idol worship in a sense, because if there should be no other God before the great I am, because he is all things, then how did we create another idol to serve and to worship? Jesus never wanted that. He never asked for that. He just wanted us to get to the place where we can understand inclusion, understand oneness, bear our burdens and our crosses as needed, and get to the other side, letting it die, letting it rest if it needs to, and then resurrecting. So as I look through this entire process, I know that it's bittersweet because we become comfortable with the pain and the weight. I know I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking about me, but I know that you're hearing me. The thing that has you weighted down, it served its purpose. Believe it or not, even when you gain weight in your physical body and you do it subconsciously because you already feel inadequate or irrelevant, and you put on this weight, and it proves your point in a sense, right? When you start accumulating that type of weight, when you already think negative about yourself, then you put that weight on. It's like a testament to say, oh, you're right. We're not attractive. We not this, we not that. See, you attach all of these different things, and weight on top of more weight, on top of more weight comes, on top of more weight comes. And so you're tired of being rejected, you're tired of being hurt. And so this weight serves as your protection, you feel, because ain't nobody gonna want me like this. It's what you tell yourself. And so then you go through the years with this weight on your body. You despise it. You don't like it. You hate the fact that it makes you feel pain, and you hate the fact that it gives you diseases. But you're afraid to release it because it served you some type of purpose at one time or another. You're afraid to lose the weight, because you don't know who you'll be without it. But I am telling you today that you have to include all these things in your experience, in your existence. But you're going to take this cross, you're going to bear it, you're going to understand it, and then you're going to let it rest. We say die, but I'm going to say rest. It needs to go in the ground. It needs to be given up. It needs to be allowed to rest. Because there is something coming on the other side. It is something coming on the other side. The resurrection of a new you, a new start, a new beginning, a new creation. Old things passed away. Behold, all things are become new. This is the time for your new. It's definitely the time for mine. So all the weight has to go. It's been included. It serves its purpose. Wisdom, however, will never leave you. It just shifts to a new experience, a new adventure. And one of the things that wisdom said to me in that piece that I wrote was that you want me to go ahead and shift out of this place to a new place. I'm old in this place. I'm worn. I've taken on all the weight and the pressure. I've served my purpose. Let me rest. Because on the other side of this, which shall resurrect, is something that you've never seen before, but you've earned it. So sometimes when we can't let go of the weight, we miss the next thing because we have no hands to hold it. We ignore the next thing because this thing has us consumed. Shikataya basokore bakataya. But we include all the experiences. This is the prayer of inclusion, that you look at every experience that you've experienced, everything that you've endured, every person that's been in your life, the ones you still blame for leaving. Yeah, there are some people who have passed over into the spirit realm that I'm still like trying to figure out how not to be angry that they chose to go at that particular time. See, we look at death and all this stuff and we're trying to figure out why God allows so many things to happen. That's because we only have a limited view of the greater whole and the plan of the greater whole. See, we are one. This is not about your personal experience being the end all be all. Your personal experience is a part of the greater. So it's such a beautiful experience. But in all of that, the highs, the lows, the wilderness times, the times of famine or dryness, the times where other people are the head and we are the tail, we rejoice and wait for the time that we are the head. But do we realize that that means that somebody else will be the tail? It's a cycle and it continues. It's all included. It's all included. So I know that everything that happens in your life, all of the experiences that you have, you may not want to let go of some of the things that now will be sort of poison for you, because it's hurting you more than it's helping. The mindsets that we have hurting us more than helping us. We're battling with whether or not we are worthy enough to say that God is in us. We're having a hard time even receiving the words of Christ Joshua. This is the reason why it's a journey to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Mind changing from one consciousness to the next. It's a journey and it's forever happening. So you'll have a lot of experiences. You'll have a lot of 15-year experiences, 30-year experiences. You'll have a lot of 2-year experiences, sometimes a few months, sometimes a couple of days. But all of it has wisdom written all over it. So what lessons are you learning? What are you gaining from this inclusion of all things? Are you only going to keep looking at the negative and what the devil doing? Or are you going to realize that even the enemy serves a purpose? The adversary serves the purpose. That's what builds your spiritual muscles. That's what builds your solistic muscles, because you're standing against an adversary and you're being reminded that everything that you need to overcome this adversary is within you. God is not stupid. God did everything strategically and on purpose. Everybody explains it different. Some people call it the devil. Some people call it the adversary. Some people call it opposition. Some people call it, just life happening, life lifing, because they understand that all of it comes together. But all things work together for good. And so I'm going to continue to boldly do what I have to do and finish everything that I need to finish before morning. But I've definitely been going through a journey and a process, because it's not easy to shed the old. Especially not when it's kept your company all this time. Your depression has kept your company. Your anxiety has kept your company. Your negative thoughts have kept your company. You are familiar with those things, but they're hurting you. When wisdom is tired in one shape, it becomes a bit overwhelming. It becomes heavy. It becomes more of a nuisance than it is a pleasure. And our loyalty will be like, well, it's been with me all this time, so I'm not going to give up on it because it's tired. But again, that atmospheric pressure that you're trying to take it to, see, you're rising and you try to take it to a new atmospheric pressure and it dies there anyway. So you might as well make peace with it and allow it to rest. Pain, heartache, trauma, issues, shame, guilt, unforgiveness, I let you rest. Depression, I let you rest. Old religious ideologies, I let you rest. Because I am not free and free indeed following that. I'm not in faith following that. So in order to please God, I need to have faith. Let me get myself in a position where I can receive the truth of what I believe. I got to let you rest, because I am resurrecting. I am resurrecting. Those days in the belly of that fish wouldn't have had to been 3 days in the belly of the fish had he just allowed himself to move from the old to the new. But sometimes our lessons are wrapped up in things that seem like they are consuming us until we relinquish. So what do you need to let go of today so that you can live in the truth of what God is doing in your life in this season? What does your death, burial, and resurrection look like? That's what he told me about this experience I'm having right now. It's the death, burial, and resurrection. And I am... You have some things that you are afraid to let go of because it served you some purpose over time, but it is hurting you more than it is helping you. We include it. We know that it must happen. We know that we're going to have more experiences that happen in life, but we're going to approach it through different eyes. And so as we're sitting here today and talking about this, we are approaching this through different eyes. I am not losing my hair. The assignment has shifted. Wisdom is moving on to another assignment in my life. And so I honor this assignment. I honor this time. My hair was all the way down to almost my knee, the back of my knee. And I did. I had the thought and I married the idea. I married the idea that I was going to grow old and gray with them. And who knows, I may start another journey at some time or another. But right now, wisdom wants to shapeshift. So I'm up for the next lessons to come, full of adventure, full of exploring, full of understanding God in his fullness. And so I'm excited about it. But I have a different outlook now. It's all included. None of it to take me out. The goodbyes are not easy, but I reverence the time we shared. I will not make my locks feel as if they owe me any debt, because they don't. And so the goodbyes are included. But the next level is so beautiful. It's a place of love, unconditional faith, liberty, relationship with God, a real one, A real relationship. A real relationship. One where there are highs and lows and changes and dynamics, but the love is so unconditional that he knows that you're going through your process and he's right here for it. So we're going to take a deep breath. And whatever you've been dreading, whatever, you've been thinking about, your pain, your trauma, your issues, your circumstances, I want you to relieve yourself of all of those negative thoughts concerning it. Because every emotion has a place. Fear helps you to know whether you should fight or flight. Wisdom within that will tell you, hey, you can fight this battle, or no, you need to run, right? But fear is the indication that something is there, it's danger. Wisdom says either fight or flight. Experiences. So I want you to make peace with everything that has ever been a part of your life, every experience. Wisdom has been a part of your life, all of your life, and you may not have recognized her. But wisdom is the thing that comes along, teaches you lessons. So any of those experiences that you've had, which are pretty much all of them, I want you to rest with those. Even give them an embrace, because you're about to send them off. We include all experiences in life because we know that they have purpose. We include all people, elements, everything that life is, everything that God is. We can't have one part of the existence without the other. So when we come to that understanding, then we'll have way more peace, because we won't expect for things to just waste away because we don't agree. But we will find out its meaning. What's the wisdom in it? So when you take these 3 deep breaths with me, on the third one, we're going to hold that breath. We're going to hold it for about 3 seconds, and then we're going to release it. Now, of course, what we're breathing in is the love, the light, the spirit of God, everything that God is. God, help us to open up the eyes of our understanding, the ears of our understanding, creating us a clean heart and renew a right spirit within us, that as we go through this practice, we will not leave with the same things that had us burdened down before. We will make peace with the fact that we may need to say goodbye to something in one form in order to embrace the next. So take these 3 deep breaths with me, and on the third one, hold it 3 seconds, release it. What you are releasing as you make your peace are all the things that taught you some lessons that came to serve as wisdom in your life, but they no longer serve you a purpose. That's your pain, your trauma, your issues, mama issues, daddy issues, molestations, rapes, feelings of inadequacy, the weight on your body that you have been trying to get off because it is irritating you in every way. But you got to heal the inner stuff in order for the outer stuff to change. All right, so we're going to heal that tonight. So the prayer of inclusion, the prayer of understanding that all things do indeed work together for the good. It says that for those who love God and those that are called according to his purpose. And we know that there's nothing that exists that is not according to his purpose. But the loving God is the process of us walking through this journey, having a relationship and experience, learning how to receive love unconditional and learning how to give it. When you breathe out, you're going to breathe out everything that opposes your growth, your expansion. If it no longer serves you, you are not being disloyal by letting it go. Same thing when we lose our family members. We are not being disloyal when we don't sit in grief for years. We are actually honoring them in their memory when we get up and we try to get our bearings and we move on with life. Swallow that for a second. I know you lost your comfort zone, your comfort place, but wisdom is spirit. It's spiritual. God is spirit. This shapeshifting happens all the time. So you may have lost one thing and you feel overwhelmed by that. But listen, you will always get more wisdom experiences. More people will come to teach you in the next stages of your life. Instead of the weight that you've been carrying on your body, now you can carry the joy and the happiness and all the stuff that you want to do for people, and you'll have the energy and the strength to do it. God has been speaking. So we're going to shed the weight. All right, y'all ready? Should be in a comfortable position already. Shekataman sokore bakatiabai. We clear this space of all negative thought and negative energy. We are here tonight because, God, we yield. We yield. We understand that this is just another experience on this great journey called life. The lessons that we were supposed to gain from all of it, we take in all of those lessons right now as we breathe in. Breathe out the doubt, the fear, the rejection, the overwhelm, the anxiety, the irritability, anything that is no longer serving you a purpose. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out the anxiety, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the feelings that you are not good enough, that you will never matter. Breathe it out, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out. And on this third breath, we're going to take it in, and we're going to hold it for those 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds while you are holding, do your best to only focus on that reality that you are about to be completely free from these things, because according to your faith, be it unto you. It's going to rest tonight. You're going to sleep better than you have in a very long time. You're going to rest. You're going to lay it to rest. You're going to make a resolve within yourself today that, hey, this thing no longer is going to weigh me down. Thank you for the purpose that you served when you did. Thank you for every lesson that you have given me. But now I must let you rest so that I can move forward. If you're ready, take the deep breath in. Breathe out. Once you push all that air out, then I want you to make the declaration that I am free. Shikataya. Rebakato mansoko rebakataya. You don't have to be loyal to the weight anymore, the pain anymore. Wisdom is about to shapeshift for you into a new practice. Some of you listening are going to decide, hey, I think I want to rock with Love Walk Outreach Global for a while. I think I'm going to learn something. I'm going to gain something. That may be the new wisdom that you're receiving, the new experience through a new person. Some of you may be saying, hey, I've gained all I was supposed to gain from this place, and so it's time for me to move forward. Some of y'all are like, nah, look, I'm rooted in, I'm stuck, I'm here. God ain't said nothing like that to me. Understood. I'm here for it. I'm right here with you. Some of you are releasing old relationships that you've been holding on to within your heart, and it's been hard for you to let it go, to release it. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. The relationship that never turned into marriage, that's okay. God did you a favor. The marriage that ended, it's okay. God did you a favor. And maybe even them. Maybe you were too much for them. Because you needed to be free to explore who you really are. And in this season, oh God, you are free to explore who you really are to the full. Because God is not offended with you. He loves you without condition. He knows everything about you. So we're going to practice relieving ourselves of things that are heavy and no longer beneficial. We thank it for what it's done for us in this season of our life. We do not hate it. We do not resent it. And even if we do hold hate or resentment or unforgiveness for it, we are still going to bless it and then let it rest. This is the part that I didn't tell many people, but God told me, because my kids and people were asking me if they could have one of my locks, and God told me to bury them all. Bury them all. And so, I'm going through the stages, y'all. Going through the stages. But I have to bury them all. Whew. Bury them. Tomorrow is a new day. It's a day of resurrection, a day of coming out and really being me, enjoying that process. And so I'm excited about tomorrow, but I pray that tonight you felt some relief. Take another deep breath for good measure. Just because you can, take it, go as deep as you can. Hold it 3 seconds in your mind. Just remind yourself that you're free. You're free. You're free. And then let it all out. And at the end, declare it once more. And get excited about what's to come next. Take that deep breath in. Release. I am free. It is so. And so it is. We include everything. We include everyone. We know that God is all things. We are not mistaken about that anymore. We include every experience. It all has a purpose. Joseph went from the pit to the palace, from hatred and resentment to living in harmony and peace with his brothers. That's why we can't hold on to something as if it's a matter of fact thing. Things change and shift in life. And when we get into the groove of that, the flow of that, then we won't feel so overwhelmed and full of anxiety. So we're shedding all things old and embracing all things new. And I'm so excited about this journey with you all. If you are not registered to join me tomorrow, please do so. If you are going to sow a seed tonight, please go ahead and do so. It's 10:25, y'all. 10:25 p.m. In 12 hours, we will be live on Zoom. My next 12 hours are about to be pretty intense. Getting things done. But I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm ready. I am 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 ready. And I hope that you're ready too, because this is full steam ahead. All right. Go ahead and get your offering in. This is a good time to do that. This is a good time to do that. 10:25 would be a good seed to sow. Some may only have $10.25. Some of you may have 102. Nope, I'm right. No, yeah. 102.50. Some of you may do the whole 1,025. Whatever it is that you decide to do tonight, it is already blessed, but I'm going to add my agreement with yours that what you need will increase and show up manifestation in your face even now. That what you do for another, I pray that God will do it for you immediately, multiplied 100-fold. As you sow, please note that as you sow into this experience, into what I'm going through right now in this experience, your experience will be lighter than what you believe. Because we're standing in the gap for you. That means you will come into agreement with us in some way. And so I will not stop covering anyone that is in agreement with us. I pray for all, but I cover and I nurture and I love on and I water those who are in connection with us. Meshatoboko reba ikataman sokori kia depenia makotobukutu. Shoko tomboko sataman sikio reba kotua ye bakataya ba. Kashataman soko reba ikataman sikio reba kotua. Shekataman soko reba kataba. Shekataman sikio reba kotua. Oh, Rabbi Kataman. So, given a few minutes, given a few minutes. Masoko Rabbi Kataman, Soko Rabakataya. No, see, tonight, I bless you. I bless you. I bless you. I bless you. If you are not already registered, which I believe everybody who is here is probably already registered for tomorrow, but I will put the information here just in case. It is not a mandatory experience. And some of you may or may not want to hear what's going to be said. I think it's going to be a wonderful time. And I think that if you love me, then you're going to love me just as I am. But there is the link to be able to register for. In the morning, we start at 10:25 a.m. It is going to be an adventure. All right, y'all, I got to get going. I have some things I still need to put in place, and I got to finish this experience of cutting the locks and putting them to rest. I love y'all so much just because I can, and we will be back again tomorrow. Absolutely, completely and totally. I thought about adding the prayer time at the end of our time together. But I don't know. I guess I'll be playing it by ear. That might be the time that I go live on the other platforms just for the prayer time. But I don't know. I think I might enjoy the experience for what it is, and then prayer will be later that evening or whatever. But hey, you never know when I'm gonna pop up. So make sure you are subscribed and you click that bell for notifications, all notifications. All right. Many blessings to you. Have a good night.